Let's take a look at another application of a relative extrema problem using the d-test. Please pause the video and read through this. Make sure you understand what all the variables are. Okay, here we go. We have a one-product company. The profit is given in millions of dollars. This is the profit function. Notice it's A and N, not X and Y. A is the amount of money spent on advertising. It is in millions. N is the number of items. Remember, they're a one-item company, and that's in thousands. We are trying to find the maximum value of P and the values of A and N at which that happens. So we have to have a very complete answer when we're done. We need to find the partial derivatives in order to use the d-test. So let's do the partial derivative with respect to A. That means N is going to be a number. When you look at the first term, you get negative 10A. Second term gives you 48. Third term goes to 0. Fourth term gives you plus 2N. And then this 290 is going to go to 0 no matter what our derivative is with respect to. Now let's do the second order partial. Again, N is a number, and we're going to this guy. And so when we do that with respect to A, the first term gives us negative 10, and the other two terms both go to 0. Now let's do the mixed partial derivative. With respect to N this time, that means A is a number, and we are going back to here again. A is a number, so the first term goes to 0, second term goes to 0, third term gives us 2. Let's go ahead and do the partial order derivatives with respect to N. That means A is a number now, and we are going back up here to our original profit function. With respect to N, the first term goes to 0, the second term gives us negative 6N, third term goes to 0, fourth term minus 4N gives us minus 4. 2AN gives us 2A, and that constant goes to 0. Now we need to do the mixed and the double. For the first one, A is still a number. We're going to use this function. With respect to N, the first term gives us negative 6. The next two terms are just numbers, so they both go to 0. For the next mixed one, we need to have with respect to A, which means N is a number. And when we do that, the first term goes to 0 because it's a number, negative 4 goes to 0 because it's a number, and the third term gives us 2. Here all the information is gathered together for us. We typically find profit with respect to X and Y. Remember that we're now dealing with A and N. So we're going to take each of these first order partial derivatives and set them each equal to 0. So negative 10A plus 48 plus 2N is equal to 0. When we take this second guy, let's change the order of the terms and put them underneath of each other. Minus 6N, minus 4, and then plus 2A equal to 0 again. If only this guy was a 10A, then we could add him to 0. So let's go ahead and multiply that equation by 5. When we do that, the first one stays the same. The second one becomes 10A times 5 minus 20 times 5 minus 30N is 0. And we do that so we can add down, and these first guys, they go to 0. Because they add to 0. So you get 28 minus 28N is 0. Solve this thing for N. Add that negative term over. Divide by 28, and you get 1. Now, our profit function is telling us it's a function of A and N. A here, N here. N is 1. That's the second term, so be careful of that. We have to go find A. Let's use that second equation. No, it doesn't matter which one you use. N is 1, 2A minus 4. 6 times 1 is 6. So that's 2A minus 10. Add the 10 to the other side. Divide by 2. And you get 5. This guy is our candidate point now for relative extrema. Remember, to find the relative extrema, we're going to have to use the d-test. And to use the d-test, Let's do that translation here for our subscripts. Because all of our partial order with the second order partial derivatives are all numbers, we don't have to actually substitute in, so we can just pull these off and put them in here. So let's go ahead and do that. The d-test of a n, the second order partial with respect to a is -10, with respect to n is -6, minus the mixed partial squared. The mixed partial is 2. So this is going to give us 60 minus 4, which is 56, which is greater than 0. Because d is greater than 0, we have to check or test the second order partial derivative with respect to x. With respect to a, because I didn't translate that in my head. With respect to a, that is equal to -10, which is less than 0. We know that less than 0 means that we are this. And so that's going to give us a relative max. Okay, going to the next page. And that makes sense because we're trying to do profit. So this guy should say maximum. That's why I was hesitating, because I know what I typed in there. And it makes sense because it's profit. We want to maximize the profit instead of minimize it. And so we did the d-test. We need to have that last value. Remember, this is A. That's how much we've spent in advertising in millions. This is N. That's how many thousands of our product that we've sold. And now we need to equal what the profit is in millions. So we have to substitute up into this original function. When you do that, you get 408. And so there is a maximum profit of $408 million when, what's the advertising? That's the A. 5, and I gotta look, it was millions or thousands. It is for advertising millions when $5 million are spent or is spent on advertising, and 1,000 items are sold. And so we have to really watch those ordered triples. So for us, it was advertising in millions, your items in thousands, and then our profit in millions. And that was A for advertising, N for the number, and then this was our function, which is Z. So that's it. Hope you're having a great day.